So my first month of GT12 racing didn't necessarily go that well. It kind of went something like this. In case you can't notice, I am the red car. Running into things, running into people, no control, just all over the place. But as I put more time on the track and learned more about these little cars, and also just kind of made some changes to my controller and my race program, things picked up and we ended up doing well at the last race. 7 out of 10 ain't bad. It's better than last, especially when we were up against some pretty stiff competition at the Norcar RC Raceway. So let's do a quick 1 month recap of what I've learned, what I'm running now, and all that stuff right now. I'm Chad, this is Dorky M40 RC channel. Glad to have you all back with me today. Thank you very much. Last video, forgot to mention, you guys run any kind of on-road stuff, let me know what you're running. Drop a comment below if you're into this kind of content. Of course, subscribe. There'll be plenty more of it coming. There's a lot of different cars that they run here, and the people are super helpful. So, you know, if you have any questions about any classes like F1 or any kind of touring car stuff, you know, we can walk around and talk to some people. So let me know what you... We started off the first month with the CRC CK25, which is a really great car, super great value. But we all know that in RC that it's always the car's fault, right? When we don't do any better. So what did I do? I went out and I picked up an X-Ray X12 22. Love the X-Ray, love the CRC car. Maybe we'll get it back on the track one of these days. Biggest reason I wanted to go with X-Ray is just the amount of information that's out there. There's an entire YouTube series by Alexander Hagberg that talks about building this car, setting it up, doing everything correctly. And besides that, the manuals that they come with are just amazing. I've never owned an X-Ray RC car, but if you take a look at these things, full color pages, they've got little QR codes here that you can like click on to take you to the video tips on how to actually build the car. And then of course we've got all of our good stuff like parts breakdowns and everything. And then the best part is they actually give you all of the different, not just a setup sheet, but they actually tell you why you want to run this. And if you're looking for something else out of your car, why you might want to do this. Now, in the GT12 class, this all has to be kind of taken with a grain of salt because these cars are ran to be these super fast, like modified type of deals, like all the way down to crazy motor, 4-turn or something like that. Something that I'll never even be able to control. I've seen 17.5s, the stock USGT motors in here are 21.5 fixed cans. Man, just watching the 17.5s, it is like another world out there. Needless to say, having that type of information in your hands when you're trying to learn this entire new car is super valuable, even though everybody at the Norcar RC Raceway is super helpful and will answer any question. Sometimes you just want to know the stuff yourself, right? You don't want somebody just like to just fix your car and hand it to you and you go and try to race it. That's just not fun. That's not what I want to do. I want to be able to get information and dive in and share and help out the hobby and help the sport grow. It's what we've always been about here on the channel, right? So after going to a couple practice sessions that week with the car, being completely comfortable with it and making some spring adjustments on my Sanwa. Yes, I actually put the heaviest spring that there is in my steering so that way I could just eliminate a lot of the jitters and stuff. Try to make up for the 40 years of driving experience that the guys have standing right next to me. It's some stiff competition that I'm up against. Using this was very, very effective for me. I had tried different things like turning my dual rate way down, using Expo, trying different speed functions and everything with the servo and this frequency that was going to it from the Sanwa radio itself. None of it worked, but this spring thing really clicked and it allowed me to have my best day of racing ever. Consistently, every race, a couple laps off the pace. Not too bad for this guy. So I came out of my heat in second place, 1 lap off the pace. I ran my fastest lap time I've ever ran. I also ran my fastest average lap time. My consistency was about 95%, way better than I had ever been in the past. So I was super stoked. And of course, this trend would continue throughout the day. Actually ended up getting a little bit slower, was trying a few things with gears, oils, didn't want to make a whole lot of changes to the car. What I really wanted to focus on was the actual race program itself. So things like cleaning the tires properly, scuffing them up on the tire truer in between heats, applying the prep the correct way, charging the battery, and of course with these little cars, they are so intricate and delicate, you really need to check nearly everything after every race. So we need to make sure that all of our screws are tight. We need to check and make sure things like our ride height hasn't changed a lot from tire wear. We need to check our droop settings. We need to check everything with the toe. If we tap the wall, a 1/2 degree or a degree a toe out on these cars, might as well be like 10 degrees on like a buggy. It's just totally different. Speaking of buggies, I'm really excited to try out the remote at a buggy race just because this thing is so different now. It has such a feeling. OG Bo says it feels like it takes like a pipe wrench to turn this thing. So it is what it is. I've got the normal trigger in there. Remember, we got these for drag racing, so steering really wasn't important. Throttle really wasn't important either, but I don't know why I ended up putting the heavy spring in the trigger. I just kind of did. But this thing is prime for me now. It's ready to rock and roll, baby. And so we made it all the way, of course, to the B main final, which is fine, where I ended up placing third. I definitely could have drove better in the B main. I, was right behind, only a lap down, and however much time it is, I'm still trying to get used to reading all this live RC stuff as well. So not too bad. I will take that any day, especially since, like I said, throughout the day, I was 27, 27, 27, 27, so it did very well. The car did get slower, the grip came up. I have to learn how to deal with that, and I tried a few changes, but again, I just wanted to have like a good solid day at the track. It felt super awesome to do. I loved it, had a great time. A couple of the guys did have to drop out, so maybe if they would have stayed in the race, then I might not have got third, but hey, whatever, I'll take it. Third is third, whatever. So what we got planned for this week, we've got a couple parts coming in. Of course, we always need parts for the next upcoming race weekend, which is going to be Saturday because we race 3 weeks on, then we off for oval, and then we go back. And then doing some body work. These 12 scale bodies don't handle little crashes and stuff very well. And if you take a look like there on the front fender, you can see how there's some nicks and stuff. Now you can kind of fix that stuff with shoe goo and everything, but the problem is that these bodies ride so close to these cars that I don't want to nick up and chunk up my front tires or my rear tires for example. But this is pretty much the first race, day, practice, whatever, that I've made it through where I didn't literally just destroy the shit out of my tires. And my body fared pretty damn good as well. So just a couple little things that I need to take care of on it, and we'll throw it back on and race it. I know people are testing out bodies and stuff, and they know which ones are the fastest and the lightest, and this is the Protoform Corvette. It's not the lightest, it's not the thinnest, but for me, I actually kind of think this is the body I'm going to go with for a little bit, because again, with the RC skills, it's a lot easier to trim out. It's a lot easier to mount and stuff, because the first body that I got was just ultra flexible, and it was super hard to mount everything and also get nice straight lines and stuff, because it literally is like a paper body. It's literally like paper thin. It was insane. And now I will say farewell and leave you with the glory of my third place B main finish. So feel free to watch the end of the video. Give me some critique or whatever. I promise the next videos are going to be more old school, more involved, more high energy and all that. Now that we, I think, can dedicate a little bit more time to that at the track. That is the goal. Make it a little bit more fun. Spice things up a bit. Love you guys. Peace.
Let's see if that pole position start for Bays will help him. Oh, he taps anyway. Oh, he does not want the sticker. Come on, Bays, don't hit stuff. Oh, a lot of tapping through here.
Dang. What's going on?
A green car is the key. Get away from the blue cars.
Oh,
no.
I'm going crazy with mine.
Bays leading us around. The only one non-blue out there. Clark in the number 2 spot. Campbell in the 3. Chad in the 4. John in the 5. Up next, race number 6. A-Main GT12. Bud, Clayton, Bo, Dutch, and Gill. Rick Bays, 10-0 hot lap. Clark in that number 2 spot. He's got a 10-9 hot lap.
I don't know why it's twitching like
Campbell,
that.
10-7 hot lap. 11-4 for Chad. 11-0 for John. 110 in, 350 to go. Green car is going about a 5-second lead over Clark right now. Uh-oh, Marshall. $135 in, $325 to go.
Pull it. Pull it.
3 minutes left.
210 in, 250 to go. Bay's still leading us around. He's got an 8.5 second lead over Clark. Clark's got 6 over Chad. Chad has 9 over John. Whoa, man, that green car is crazy out there. Slammed into the side of Mike.
Two minutes left.
$150 left. Bays, Clark, Chad in that number 3 spot. Chad's goal for today was to get a sticker, and he's got that possibility. He's got 1:40 left with an 8-second lead over John Yu.
John's having troubles.
$110 left. 30-04 pace right now for our leader. 28 lap pace for Clark. Chad's on a 27-26 for John.
1 minute left.
Bay's trying to take this from the tone. Hot lap also of a 10-0.
45 seconds left.
No.
30 seconds left.
25 seconds left. Bays comes through with a new hot lap, 10:06 on lap 26. Just rubbing it in your faces.
15 seconds left.
Look at that move.
5, 4,
Pummeling the competition.
2, 1.
Racing to the line. Looking for Rick and Mike Clark.
All drivers
All
are finished.
right. We need Rick Bays, Mike Clark, and Chad to the makeshift podium behind me for photos. Rick, Mike, and
30
Chad.
seconds.